celebrate International Women's Day on March 8th every year. This year, International Women's Day 2021, the theme is Women in Leadership, Achieving an Equal Future in the COVID-19 World. We saw women in the front lines handling the COVID-19 crisis. They were healthcare workers, innovators, and also caretakers and caregivers. We saw how they were able to manage both managing this crisis as well as their usual jobs as well as their home. And we also saw the disproportionate burden on women, especially during the COVID-19 crisis, for upliftment of women's rights and also to leverage women's potential, especially in leadership. It is extremely important that women take care of their own health and also well-being. According to WHO, the last 2 decades has seen a double rise in cases of cancer. We saw that in the year 2000, there were 10 million people across the world who were inflicted with cancer, and by the end of 2020, 19.5 million people were inflicted with cancer. And also it was alarming to see that breast cancers took over the lung cancers, and today breast cancer starts as the highest number of people having breast cancer. It is also seen that 1 out of every 5 people are inflicted with cancer. We at Digital Wellness are celebrating this year's International Women's Day throughout the week, and we are happy to bring across experts sharing about women, womanhood and health of women by very eminent speakers. And we also had Dr. Kavita, who spoke about health for women across all ages. In case you have missed watching our channel, please watch that episode. Also like, subscribe and stay tuned for interesting stories on digital wellness. In today's episode, I am happy to be in conversation with Dr. Shubhashree, a very eminent obstetrician and gynecologist, a young, passionate, dynamic gynecologist. She is very passionate about laparoscopic surgery and oncology, and she is also an international fellow in oncogynecology from NHS Christie Hospital, Manchester, and she is a consultant at Shree Hospital and also works at Rajarajeshwari Medical College. Namaste, Dr. Shubhashree.
Namaste, Sujata.
Thank you so much for talking to our channel, Digital Wellness.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure to be a part of your program.
I was researching about yourself. I understand that you come from a family of doctors and grew up being extremely passionate about doing gynecology. It's very interesting looking at your profile. And one of the things that I am really curious about is what are the normal kind of cancers that is normally inflicted for women?
As we all know, cancer is second cause of death among people in India. Cancer among women is very rampant. The cancers which is most common cancer in India is the breast cancer. The second most common cancer is the cervical cancer. Then comes other gynecological cancers like the endometrial carcinoma, that is nothing but the uterine cancer, then the ovarian cancers and the other vulval and vaginal cancers.
Is cancer inflicted across all ages?
Yes, definitely. These cancers are there present in all different age groups. Breast cancer especially we see it has a bimodal presentation. It's usually seen in the younger age group, which we say the reproductive age group, and even postmenopausal. And cervical cancer, it is seen basically in the reproductive age group. Endometrial cancer is usually seen in the postmenopausal women, and ovarian cancers especially, which is very difficult to diagnose, and especially in India we see them presenting at very late stages. They present even at very young age groups, or they may present at elderly age groups.
So how does one know that or what are the symptoms that one needs to look at to kind of know that hey, maybe I'm having this either breast cancer or cervical cancer or whatever. What are the things that women need to be careful about?
Yes, yeah, this is very important. The symptoms, basically, that is what we call, is very important when the woman diagnoses herself. So especially with breast cancer, which is the most rampant and which is the most commonest cancer in India, so usually the women diagnose herself with a lump in the breast. She diagnoses herself with something, a swelling in her breast, or some discharge from the nipple, or some redness, or some infection, or some kind of lump or heaviness which she finds in the breast while during local examination. And with cervical cancer, she may present with abnormal, some unusual bleeding, or she may have some foul smelling vaginal discharge, and she may have some pelvic pain. So symptoms in each type of cancer vary accordingly. And with endometrial cancer especially, is seen in usually elderly age group. That is the women who has already passed their menopausal age group. So these people, they usually have episodes of bleeding post their menopause, and in perimenopausal age group they have abnormal uterine bleedings. And in ovarian cancers, these patients, these women usually present with sudden bloating sensation of the abdomen, or increase in weight gain, or in sudden weight loss of satiety, all these complaints. Or in the thing which is very important is in Indian women who are actually not that they're not that well off, they are ignorant about their own health. So they usually they ignore their own health because of their family commitments, and they ignore their well-being, and what they usually come to us during the later stages. So they have to be aware of the basic symptoms. If something unusual, they should definitely contact a doctor.
So you very well said about a lot of times women, especially in the middle years, they're so busy with their children, family, they hesitate to see a doctor. So your advice, Dr. Shubhashree, on when do you think someone must come and see a doctor?
Yes, so awareness is what is very important among these women. These days, the healthcare facilities which we have in this generation is enormous. So the women should never hesitate. Even as tiniest of the smallest of the problem, they should directly go contact a gynecologist or a doctor. So when they have to be aware of the few screening programs which is very important, especially in a cervical cancer. What we say is pap smear is a screening program. The pap smear, doing a pap smear, it will prevent the death by around 80%. Wow. If we diagnose it at an early stage and give a regular correct treatment to it. And it is a screening modality which we advise every woman in the reproductive age group gets a pap smear done every 3 years up to 30 years, followed by every 3 years they have to get a pap smear plus HPV DNA testing, which we called combined with the pap smear. We advise it every 5 years. This is usually we advise in the reproductive age group. This is for the cervical cancer. Now coming to the breast cancer, it is very important that it is usually in the reproductive age group women. We start right from the 19 years to up to 45 years. These women, they do a self breast examination every monthly. So doing this, any abnormality or any lump which they find in the breast, they have to contact a doctor immediately. So we advise them to have every time when they're having a bath or anything, it is always advised they have a self breast examination done by themselves. if there is any problem, let them contact a doctor. Then coming to if there is any sudden weight loss, loss of appetite, or any unusual abnormal bleeding episodes, any bloating sensation, any pelvic pain, any pain during intercourse, or any other complaints they have, they should never hesitate. They have to immediately contact a gynecologist.
You very well said that don't wait but see a gynecologist.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if it is small or big. That's a very good advice to the women, Dr. Shubhashree. Next question I have is, what are the precautions that one needs to take for not even having an onset of cancer? Are there certain things that women need to do in particular?
Yes, definitely yes. They have to be very careful. Main thing is the lifestyle modification which they have to implement in their lives.
Right.
So lifestyle modification includes they have a proper diet, healthy diet. Then they have proper exercises accompanied by yoga, and they have they should be aware of their family history, which is very important, because these familial history cancers are very rampant. They will not be aware of their family histories, their mothers, their sisters having the breast cancer or the ovarian cancer. So they should be having, if at all there is any positive family history, they should have a regular screening done, like the pap smears, like the mammography. So and they should especially in cervical cancer, they should have a healthy sexual behavior, they should have personal hygiene. So all these, these are the primary the preventive measures which one can take to prevent the onset of cancer.
Right. I think your real advice on lifestyle modification is a very important thing, because the other experts also who speak on my channel, that's the first thing that they talk about, right? Prevention is always better
than cure.
Right. You made one very interesting point about family history. So is genetics going to play a very important role in cancer? Is that, for example, if my sister or mother had cancer, should I be worried about?
Definitely yes. The family history is one of the it's a major risk factor for developing any carcinoma, especially cancer breast and cancer ovary. In cancer breast, there is something called BRCA1 and 2 genes. So these gene mutations are one of the main risk factors for developing cancers. And these cancers run in families, that is the sisters and the mothers. It is the maternal side. And there is something called HNPCC syndrome or the Lynch 2 syndrome, where there is a positive family history, and here there is more risk for endometrial cancer and the ovarian cancer. So definitely there are these genetic mutations which play a major role in developing cancers. So what we advise is, if there is a positive family history of any breast cancer, we definitely advise the women, her sisters, her siblings, to get a regular mammography done. And in case of breast cancer, in case of cervical cancer, we ask her to get screened by pap smears and HPV DNA testing.
Right. So then it's a curious question from my side. So in a family, when your mother or sister known cancer history, do I have to be scared?
It is nothing to be scared, because we have all the treatment options already there in this generation. The healthcare facility now in the present world is enormous. So there's nothing to get scared about anything. It is just that be aware of what is happening to you and just go ahead with the treatment and the further management options. So if you are having any risk factor, don't be late, don't hesitate. Directly go contact your doctors.
Right. Since you brought out that you have so much of access on healthcare facilities nowadays, say somebody is diagnosed with cancer for whatever, right? Family history, no family history, whatever. What is the typical line of treatment that is done? And what is your recommendation that women have to first do?
Yes. So now, once a woman is diagnosed with a carcinoma, so never get scared, never hesitate. So how we as doctors stage the disease? We usually stage the disease according to its how much it has been affected the organs, the surrounding organs. So immediately we have conservative treatment if it's in the earlier stages. Then if it's still it is stage 2 or stage 3, we go with the surgical treatment. And in further stages, we 3 and 4, depending on which type of cancer, we go ahead with a chemo and a radiotherapy. If all stages are, it is beyond all stages, if it's a stage 4, still there's nothing to worry. There is still a palliative treatment which is there. So we still have the lifespan we can of the patient. It can be given by giving some palliative care.
So, for example, since you're so passionate about the subject of oncology, right? How do you deal with your patients who come with, suppose somebody is diagnosed with, say, a breast cancer or a cervical cancer? How do you deal with it, doctor?
Okay. So whenever a patient comes to me, gets diagnosed with cancer, the first thing I'm going to tell her is I'm going to give her the assurance that nothing is going to happen to you. Cancer is not a disease. It is not the end stage. There's still, you have years to live. Live happily and healthy, because there are treatment options available to us. So that is the first thing. And make up her mind. Her willpower is the one thing which you have to, and it is only the doctor which can share that connection with her patient and give her that willpower, so that that will make her live for long years. Then I would like to counsel her family members. So because her family members would give her more moral support and help her undergo the further treatment. So first thing, then I'll go to the staging of the disease. Depending on the staging, I would decide on whether to give a conservative treatment or a surgery followed by a chemo or radio. So it is going to depend on the stage of the disease.
I think you very well said about family support. For a woman, I think womenhood are very special, and there are certain diseases that comes with womanhood. So, I really like the positive outlook that you shared with my viewers on how one needs to take it. First, of course, prevention, but next, even if you, for whatever reasons, you have to undergo this, then, you don't have to worry. You will have to really look at, how to overcome this with a positive outlook. Finally, Dr. Shubhashree, your words of wisdom to my viewers.
Yes. So I would like to take this opportunity to tell that cancer is not the end stage of any disease. There is treatment options available. Don't lose hope. Don't lose hope. Build up your willpower. There is everyone for you. Disease is not the end point of everything. And then there is, and especially in concern with few of the cancers, I would want to tell, especially with breast cancer, please don't ignore. It is something which it is very common in Indian women. Women hesitate in India to come forward and meet a doctor. Please don't hesitate. Even with the smallest of the problem, please contact your doctor. Don't wait till the disease progresses to an advanced stage when nothing can be done. And coming to cervical cancer, I advise young girls, especially between the age group of 9 to 26, to get vaccinated by HPV vaccine. So below 15 years, a 2-dose vaccination is done, and beyond 15 to 26 years, 3 doses is given. So please kindly get vaccinated, all your daughters, and please tell all your friends to get them vaccinated. Then, and postmenopausal women, there's nothing to feel hesitated. If you get your bleeding episodes even after your menopause, nothing to hesitate that you should not tell your family members to consult a doctor. Please feel free and please come forward. Please get it diagnosed and get treated as early as possible. Prevention is better than cure. It is better to get treated before things get worse. So I would like to say, we should have a healthy lifestyle. So healthy lifestyle leads to a healthy life. So a healthier family coming to a healthier society, which leads to a healthier world. So I would like to thank Sujata for giving me an opportunity to talk about the cancer and giving awareness to the young generation about this cancer in India. Thank you so much.
Dr. Shubhashri, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. It is always inspiring, and I'm sure a lot of them will be inspired by your beautiful words that you spoke to my viewers today. Especially so because because of longevity of life, we see so much of rampant of cancer in India. But I'm sure your words of wisdom is going to go a long way. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Happy International Women's Day.
Thank you. Happy International Women's Day.